Once, in a bustling little port on the shores of the Mediterranean Sea, lived a boy named Yusuf. Every single day, he was drawn to the harbor, his eyes filled with wonder as he watched the great ships come and go. Each evening, he'd find his favorite spot on the rocks, gazing out at the endless horizon, a single question echoing in his mind. Why do ships disappear bottom first when they sail away? In his town, everyone believed the earth was a flat disk, but this explanation never felt right to Yusuf. His father's words were his guiding star. Do and accept something just because others believe it. Explore, ask questions, and Yusuf, with his insatiably curious heart, intended to do just that. One bright morning, a massive merchant ship set its sails for the open sea. Yusuf watched, his focus absolute. First, the dark hull vanished beneath the waves, then the wooden deck followed. After that, the tall, proud mast sank from view until finally the tiny flag at its very tip disappeared. His friend Sami, who had been playing nearby, laughed out loud. See, it finally fell off the edge of the world. But Yusuf shook his head, a thoughtful frown on his face. No, that can't be right. If it fell off an edge, the whole ship would vanish in an instant, all at once. But this was different. It disappeared slowly. From the bottom to the top, it's just like watching someone walk over the crest of a hill. Sami stopped laughing, his own brow furrowed in confusion. Wait, are you saying the earth is curved? Yes, Yusuf whispered, the idea feeling both huge and true. I think it is, and I'm going to prove it. For days, Yusuf was lost in thought. How could a simple boy like him prove something so enormous? The answer came to him as he looked toward the tall lighthouse on the northern cliff, its lamp visible for miles. He had a brilliant idea. He would observe the lighthouse from different distances out at sea. So, at the crack of dawn, he borrowed a small rowboat from a friendly fisherman and began his experiment. He rowed a short distance out. Looking back, the entire lighthouse stood tall and clear. He pulled harder on the oars, rowing farther out. Now, when he looked back, he could only see the top half of the tower. He kept going, rowing with all his might until he was far out on the water. This time, all he could see was the faint, glowing tip of the lantern. A wide grin spread across his face. It was exactly like the ship's. The world wasn't flat, it had to be curved. But he knew this wasn't enough. He needed stronger, undeniable proof to convince everyone else. He shared his findings with his teacher, Master Hakim, a wise and respected scholar. Master Hakim listened patiently, his eyes twinkling with approval. You have a keen eye for observation, Yusuf, he said. But there is something even greater you can witness, a method used by scholars long before us. What is it? Yusuf asked, his voice filled with eagerness. In the great desert to the south, the teacher explained, there is a famous shadow experiment. If you are willing to make the journey, I will show you. Yusuf didn't hesitate. He traveled with Master Hakim for many days, crossing dusty landscapes until they reached a small village deep in the desert. They carried with them two simple wooden sticks, both of the exact same length. When the sun was directly overhead at noon, Master Hakim planted one stick straight into the sand. It cast a short but distinct shadow. The key, he explained, was that back in their own northern village, another stick of the same length, at the very same time, would be casting a much longer shadow. Do you see the meaning of this? Master Hakim asked. Yusuf's eyes widened in a moment of pure understanding. Of course, if the earth were flat, the sun's rays would hit both sticks at the same angle, and the shadows would be identical. But they're different. That can only mean one thing. It means the ground beneath our feet is curved, Master Hakim finished. A proud smile on his face, Yusuf felt a thrill run through him. It was as if he'd just uncovered a magnificent treasure, not one made of gold, but of pure knowledge. On the long journey home, they slept under the vast, star-dusted desert sky. Before drifting off to sleep, Yusuf looked up, trying to find his familiar constellations. But he noticed something strange. The patterns of the stars were different here in the south. Master Hakim, he whispered, why can't I see the same stars here that I see from home? Because, Hakim answered softly, his voice like the desert wind, you are standing on a giant sphere. As you travel across its surface, your perspective of the heavens changes. Different stars become visible. This is a secret that sailors and travelers have known for centuries. Yusuf smiled up at the glittering sky. With every observation, with every step of his journey, the truth became clearer and more beautiful. When Yusuf finally returned to his home port, a crowd of townspeople gathered around, buzzing with curiosity and skepticism. Some were eager to listen, others were ready to mock the boy's strange ideas. Yusuf climbed onto the harbor wall, calm and confident. He pointed to a ship just beginning its journey out to sea. Watch the ship, he called out. See how it disappears from the bottom up. That can only happen if you are watching it move across a curved surface. He then knelt down and drew a large circle in the sand. Imagine two sticks, placed hundreds of miles apart, he explained. At the same moment, they will cast shadows of different lengths. This, too, can only happen on a curved surface. Finally, he looked up at the evening sky, where the first stars were beginning to appear. And sailors know that as they travel north or south, new stars appear on the horizon while others disappear. This is because we are moving across a great ball. He stood up and looked at all the faces in the crowd, his voice ringing with conviction. The earth is not flat. It is a great sphere, and we are all living on its surface. A hush fell over the crowd. Some people began to nod slowly, the logic clicking into place. Others argued, unable to let go of their lifelong beliefs. But Yusuf didn't mind. He felt an immense sense of pride. He hadn't just discovered that the earth was round, he had shown that with curiosity, observation, and courage, anyone could uncover the truth. Years went by, and Yusuf grew into a wise traveler and scholar. His story and his ideas spread from port to port, carried by sailors on the very ships he once watched. People remembered him not just for his claim about the earth, but for his relentless pursuit of truth when everyone else was content with easy answers. And for generations to come, every time a child stood on the harbor, watching a ship slowly sink below the horizon, they would whisper his name, a tribute to the boy who dared to ask why. Yusuf was right. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tales of curiosity and discovery.